Alhamdulillah, wassalatu wassalam ala rasulillah, wa ala alihi wa ashabihi wa man wala. So then we are inside of this, the end part of the hadith, or the hadith of Jibreel. And this is the end of the dalil from the sunnah for these arkan thalatha in Deen al-Islam. So Jibreel, after asking about Islam and Iman and Ihsan, he said, and we read this the other day, قَالَ فَأَخْبِرْنِي عَنِ السَّاعَةِ, then inform me about the hour. قَالَ صلى الله عليه وسلم مَا الْمَسْئُولُ عَنْهَا بِأَعْلَمَ مِنَ السَّائِلِ. So the Prophet ﷺ answered him, مَا الْمَسْئُولُ عَنْهَا, and this is one phrase here. Al-mas'ul anha is the maf'ul anha, right? Meaning the one being asked about it is not bi'a'lama min as-sa'il, not more knowledgeable. A'lama, and again, I don't know why that bi is there, what that purpose is. If you give me 1 second, I will look it up when we're reading in a minute. Min as-sa'il. As-sa'il is from al-fa'il, the one asking the question. Abdullah, if you could turn your audio down some.
Mine's not up there.
Because I hear feedback. قال ما مسؤول عنها, the one being asked about it.
I hear it too.
Ma bi'a'lama min as-sa'il, is not more knowledgeable than the questioner. Abu Tahir, can you check and see if your connection is good?
It's good. I'll check it out though.
Turn your volume down on your mic there, Abu Tahir.
My volume's all the way down. Yeah, it's all the way down because I think my headphones might be getting weak. I'll check it out. All right, fuck.
Okay. Yeah, I don't hear any feedback now. Jazakallah khairan. Whatever it was, it worked. Okay, give me 1 second. I'm gonna tell you what that bit is for. Inshallah. أخبرني عن الساعة. He says المسؤول عنها بأعلم. الباء زائدة لتوكيد النفي. Okay, he says, if that, not that it helps us any. He says this ba is zaida, meaning extra, to like give emphasis to or confirmation to the negation. So I guess ma be, I guess if you say be on it, it gives it extra negation. I don't know, but that's what he says here, right? So if you said ma al-mas'ulu anha a'lama min as-sa'il, then it would be, he doesn't, the same in English, the one being asked about it is not more knowledgeable. But because of the be here, it negates the knowledge even more. And that's something we can look at, inshallah ta'ala. What does that mean? That ba, you know, what? Give us some other examples. But it says the ba za'ida li tawkid and nafi. Right?
Yeah, that's strong language, boy.
So, so anyway, this is what he said. Then قال جبريل عليه السلام وقال رجل فأخبرني عن أماراتها. أخبرني an amaratiha. So inform me about amaratiha. Amarat or amara is the plural of amara, which comes from the root alif mim ra, and it means signs. Then tell me or inform me about its signs. It here, ha, is referring to a sa. Then inform me about its signs. So, قال النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم أن تلد الأمة ربتها. أن تلد الأمة ربتها. أن تلد meaning talida is from walada, but here it's feminine because we're talking about a female here. Walada is walada yalidu. Forget that one. Yalidu meaning to give birth. Right? Lam yalid wa lam yulad. Right? Lam yalid wa lam yulad. He doesn't yalid with Allah because it's Allah is masculine. Yalid, right? Lam yalid wa lam yulad. That the slave girl, al-amma, she gives, not amma with a shadda, just amma, that she gives birth, and you would look it up, alif, mim, ta marbuta, means it's a slave girl. Amma, like Amatullah, right? Amatullah, the slave of Allah, like Abdullah, for a male. So, that the slave girl gives birth, Rabbataha. Rabbataha from Rabb. From the word Rabb, meaning Lord or Master. Right? Rabbataha. Rabbata with a tab marbut at the end, meaning her. This is just another form of Rabb for master. Right? He gives birth to her Lord, her master. وَأَن تَرَى. So that's the first sign. أَن تَلِدَ الْأَمَةُ رَبَّتَهَا. That the slave girl gives birth to her master. وَأَن تَرَى الْخُفَّاتِ الْعُرَاةِ العالة رعاء الشاء يتطاولون في البنيان. وأن ترى. It says وأن ترى. And that you see, from ra'a yara, and that you see al-hufat. Hufat comes from hafiya, right? Meaning to be or to go barefoot. Hufat is the plural of half. Half is someone barefoot. Hufat is a bunch of barefoot people. Al-urat, right, comes from Arya. Arya, and it meaning to be naked, right? And here Urat is the plural of ar, meaning naked person, right? So you see, and that you see al-hufat, al-urat, al-ala, that you see the barefoot, naked. Al-ala is from ayn waw lam, meaning to be destitute or to be poor, right? So see the barefoot, naked, poor. Ri'a ash-shams. Ri'a ash-shams. Then ri'a is the plural of ra'in, right? Which is a shepherd, right? A shepherd. Sha is sheep, right? You also have the word shat, but that means one sheep. This sha is the collective noun, right? Sha is one sheep. You want to talk about sheep, you say shiwa or shiyah. Those are numbers, like this is 3 or 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 sheep. Sha with the ta marbuta is one. Sha with a hamza here, like in masha'Allah, like that type, it looks the same. Then here it means sheep in general as a collective noun, right? أن ترى الحفاة العراة العالة رعاء الشاء, that you see the barefoot, naked, poor herders of sheep. يتطاولون في البنيان. يتطاولون is from ta waw lam. Ta waw lam. So ta waw lam is, we know from tawil, meaning tall, right? Tall or long. So yatatawaluna, this form here, we had it before. Tahabuna. And we said that when we add this alif here and this ta, it means that it comes between each other. So tahabuna means to love one another. Yatatawaluna means to compete with one another in tallness or in length. To compete with one another in tallness or length. Fil bunyan. In bunyan. From Batnunya. And my man Abdullah said he didn't know that word. But if we know the hadith, Bunya al-Islam ala khams. Islam is built on 5. Islam is built. Bunyan is houses and buildings. Fil bunyan, in building. Yatatawaluna fil bunyan. They're competing with one another in building tall houses. Right? They're saying who can build the tallest buildings. So mina amarat as-sa'a, from the signs of the hour, and talid al-amata rabbataha, and talid al-amatu rabbataha, wa an tara that the slave woman gives birth to her master, wa an tara al-hufat al-urat al-ala, and that you will see the barefoot, naked, poor, ri'a ash-sha, herders of sheep, yatatawaluna fil bunyan, competing in who can build the tallest buildings. Any questions?
Herders instead of shepherds, huh? Herders.
Well, because the word sheep is there, I didn't want to say shepherd. Shepherds of sheep. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, Ra'in is someone who's responsible. Right? Ra'in is someone who is responsible. So the Prophet ﷺ said, Kullukum mas'ulun. All of you are mas'ul. All of you will be asked. The same word that we have above. Ma al-mas'ul anha bi'a'lama min as-sa'il. Ma al-mas'ul, the one being questioned. So the one question, mas'ul, he says, Kullukum mas'ulun. Mas'ulun. Meaning, all of you will be questioned on ra'iyatihi, on his flock, about his responsibility, right? So mas'ul, it means to be asked about, but it also means to be responsible, right? It needs to be responsible because the one who is responsible will be questioned, right? So when you are mas'ul, anta mas'ul, meaning you're going to be the one questioned about this, meaning you're responsible for what takes place. Right? So ra is here, kullukum mas'ulun wa kullukum mas'ulun an ra'yati. All of you are responsible and all of you will be asked about your flocks or your responsibility, right? So ri'asha here is shepherd or herdsman, but it also means that he's responsible for them, and it all goes together, inshallah. Any other questions?
لا.
You want to read for us from فأخبرني عن الساعة عبد الله.
قال فأخبرني عن الساعة قال ما المسؤول عنها بأعلم من السائل قال فأخبرني عن أماراتها قال أن تلد الأمة ربتها وأن ترى الخفاة الآلة رئاء الشاء يتطاولون في البنية.
في بنيان.
اوكي في البنيان.
نعم يلا أبا طاهر.
قال فأخبرني عن الساعة قال ما المسؤول عنها بأعلم من السائل قال فأخبرني عن أماراتها قال أن تلد الأمة ربتها.
تلد with a كسر there, huh?
تلد قطع في النصب.
لا بأس.
ربتها وأن ترى الخفاة العراة الأعلى رياء الشاء يتطاولون في البنيان.
No. Okay, so then he says, Omar talking, right? قال ثم انطلق فلبثت مليا ثم قال لي اس عمر يا عمر أتدري من السائل؟ قلت الله ورسوله أعلم. قال فإنه جبريل أتاكم يعلمكم دينكم. So Omar, he says ثم انطلق, from the root talaqa, but this verb means intalaq here means to move. He moved on, he left, right? ثم انطلق, he left. فلبثت مليا. لبثت from labitha, and if you read Surah Al-Kahf every week, then you will see this word labitha, meaning to stay, to be, to stay, yeah, basically stay, hang around, right? ثم انطلق فلبثت, so I stayed, I hung around, maliyin, from the word mali, or from the root mim lam ya, and here it means a while. I stayed around a while. I sat around, I hung around a while, because he was with the Prophet ﷺ when this man came to them, right?
So wait a minute. So falabithtu is stay around or just stay.
Yeah, I stayed there. I stayed around. When you talk about the people in the cave, they say how long did you stay here?
And he just said
right? How long? Naam, labithna yawmin o ba'da yawm. We stayed a day or part of a day, right? But labithtu maliyan. I stayed a while. You stayed around. I stayed a while. It doesn't matter. It's up to you. However you want to.
Okay, my Okay, Malian. That's part of it that stayed a while.
Maliyan is a while.
Okay. That's what I
Maliyan
was trying to get.
means the time. I
Yeah, I got
stayed is the action. Maliyan is the time.
I guess.
ثم انطلق فلبثت مليا. Then he left and I stayed a while. ثم قال لي, meaning the Prophet ﷺ said to me, li, to me, Ya Umar, O Umar, أتدري من السائل, أتدري from idrak, the word idrak, to know, right? Or not really. Tadri is from the same thing as ta'lam and ta'rif, right? To know. Tadri, do you realize, do you know, min as-sa'il, who is the questioner? The sa'il, the fa'il, the one who asked the question. Qultu Allahu wa rasuluhu a'lam. Right? Allah and His Messenger know best, are more knowledgeable, right? Qala, he said, sallallahu alayhi wasallam, فَإِنَّهُ Jibreel. Verily, he was Jibreel. أَتَاكُمْ يُعَلِّمُكُمْ دِينَكُمْ. He came, أَتَاكُمْ, from ata, to come. أَتَاكُمْ يُعَلِّمُكُمْ, he came to you. أَتَاكُمْ, he came to you. يُعَلِّمُكُمْ, from to teach, as we said, right? Alima is to know, right? Or ya'lamu, we'll say. Ya'lamu is to know, right? Yu'allimu is to teach. Yu'allimu, as it is here with the vowels, is to teach. Yata'allam is to learn. Yata'allam is to learn. Yu'allim is to teach. Ya'lam is to know. So atakum yu'allimukum, he came to you to teach you deenakum, your religion. Any questions? Go ahead and read it, Abdullah.
قال ثم انطلق فلبثت مليا ثم قال لي يا أمة أتدري من السائل قلت الله رسوله أعلم قال فإنه جبريل أتاكم يعلمكم دينكم.
Abu Tahir. Yeah, his mic muted, so I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, my other headset crashed. قال ثم انطلق فلبثت مليا ثم قال لي عمر أتدري من السائل قلت الله ورسوله أعلم قال فإنه جبريل أتاكم يعلمكم دينكم.
No. With that, we finished the dalil for the 3 levels of the religion. And now we come to al-asl al-thalith. Your headset became real loud now.
Oh, is it echoing?
No. Al-asl al-thalith.
All right,
No. That's good. Just until time to read or something. Al-asl al-thalith, the 3rd principle. He says, Ma'rifatu nabiyyikum. محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم وهو محمد ابن عبد الله ابن عبد المطلب ابن هاشم وهاشم من قريش وقريش من العرب والعرب من ذرية إسماعيل بن إبراهيم الخليل عليه وعلى نبينا أفضل الصلاة والسلام. He says the third principle here. This is the main part of the book. الأصل الأول من ربك. الأصل الثاني ما دينك. What is your religion? الأصل الثالث من نبيك. Who is your prophet? These are the three questions we will be asked about in the grave. Three questions we will be asked about in the grave. So these are the main three principles. So he says, Ma'rifatu nabiyikum. The third principle is knowledge of your prophet. Ma'rifatu nabiyikum. The knowledge of your prophet, Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam. Ma'rifatu nabiyyi is mudaf ilayh. That's why we have this kasra here with that shadda. And Muhammad is a badal for nabi. Right? Meaning a replacement or substitute. So we can say Ma'rifatu Muhammadin, or we can say Ma'rifatu Nabiyyikum, or we can just say Ma'rifatu Nabiyyi, meaning the prophet, right? Knowledge of the prophet. But here he says Ma'rifatu Nabiyyikum, which is from the manners of the Shaykh to teach us that this is your prophet, to feel close to him. You should want to know who he is. He didn't just say Ma'rifatu Nabi, knowledge of the prophet, and leave him like he's, you know, in another city, in another place, in another time, and all that. No. Ma'rifatu nabiyyikum, knowledge of your prophet, to give you an attachment to him and a love for him. Muhammadin sallallahu alayhi wasallam. Then he goes on and he says, Wahuwa, and he is Muhammad ibn Abdullah ibn Abdul Muttalib ibn Hashim. Muhammad, the son of Abdullah, the son of Abdul Muttalib, the son of Hashim. Right? We should at least know this part of his lineage. Muhammad ibn Abdullah ibn Abdul Muttalib ibn Hashim. Wa Hashim, and Hashim min Quraysh. Hashim was from Quraysh. Wa Quraysh min al-Arab. And the Quraysh are from the Arabs. Wal Arabu من ذرية إسماعيل ابن إبراهيم الخليل. And the Arabs are from the ذرية, the offspring, right? The offspring of Ismail, the son of Ibrahim al-Khalil, the friend of Allah, al-Khalil, the friend, right? Alayhi, upon him, وعلى نبينا, and upon our prophet, أفضل الصلاة والسلام, the best and most preferable salat and salam, right? عليه وعلى نبينا أفضل الصلاة والسلام, upon him and upon our prophet, the best or choicest of salat and salam. Any questions about this? This chapter should probably go pretty quickly. وله من العمر 63 سنة منها 40 قبل النبوة و30 ذرية can also mean descendant, of course. Descendants and offspring are the same thing, inshallah, right? Offspring is not limited to just your children, I think. Allah knows best, but definitely it means descendants as well. وَالثَّلَاثٌ وَعِشْرُونَ نَبِيًّا رَسُولًا وَلَهُ مِنَ الْعُمَرِ, and for him مِنَ الْعُمَرِ, from age, right? مِنَ الْعُمَرِ, كَمْ عُمْرُكَ, right, as we had, Kam Umrak. Wallahu min al-Umar, and for him from age ثلاث وستون سنة. 3 was 60 years, so 63 years. Minha, from them, from these years. Minha, from these سنة. أربعون قبل النبوة. 40 before prophethood. And nubuwa is prophethood, from the word nabi. وثلاثون not ثلاثون وثلاث وعشرون and 13 ثلاثة وعشرون or 23 rather 23 ثلاثة وعشرون 23 نبيا رسولا as a prophet and a messenger. So أربعون قبل النبوة وثلاثون وعشرون and 23 as a prophet and a messenger. Any questions about that? Abdullah?
No. I think I'm good, yeah.
نُبِيَ بِإِقْرَأ وَأُرْسِلَ بِالْمُدَثِّرِ وَبَلَدَهُ مَكَّةَ. Nubiya is the same thing from Nabi, from prophet, but here it's a verb. When we say Nabi, we say a Nabi, and that's a noun. Nubiya here is past tense. I mean passive. It's past and passive. Passive, majhul. Meaning he was sent as a prophet, or he became a prophet. Right? Nubiya, he was given prophethood. Bi Iqra, with the surah Iqra. Iqra bismi rabbika alladhi khalaq. He was made a prophet. Nubiya bi Iqra. Nubiya bi Iqra. He was made a prophet with Iqra. Wa ursila, and he was sent. Right? Ursila, again, majhul, passive. Wa ursila bil mudaththir, meaning he was sent as a messenger. He was made a messenger. Right? He was made a messenger bil mudaththir, with Surah Al-Mudaththir. Right? Wa baladuhu Mecca, and his land, his balad, his country, balad is Mecca. Any questions?
Bil Mudaththir. What is Mudaththir?
Surah Al-Mudaththir.
Oh, okay.
Ya ayyuhal mudaththir, qum fa'anzir. Right?
Okay. وبلده مكة.
Who can read this page? You want to start out, Abdullah?
الأصل الثالث معرفة نبيكم محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم وهو محمد ابن عبد الله ابن عبد المطلب ابن هاشم وهاشم من قريش وقريش من العرب والعرب من ذرية إسماعيل ابن إبراهيم الخليل عليه وعلى نبي
Nabi.
Okay, Nabi. I don't know why I keep saying they. Nabiyina afdalu salati wassalam وله من الأمور 63 سنة منها 40 كب 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 I don't know how to say قبل النبوات وثلاث وعشرون نبيا رسولا. You read it that one too, okay? نبيا بأقراء وأرسل بالمدثر وبلده مكة.
No. The question is, I said Nubia is the verb for prophet. Well, Naba'a is, where's the, what happened with my pen there? Naba'a is the actual first word. Naba'a, meaning to inform. We say, Amma yatasa'alun anin naba'il azim, about the great news. Naba'a is news. Here, naba'a as a verb is to give news or to inform someone, right? Naba'a, to give news. Here we have nabba'a, right, with a shadda, meaning we said inform to, it's to it imposes it on someone else. However we can translate that. I don't know how to just necessarily translate it here with naba'a, but it imposes that on someone else, form two, a lot of times, or on something else. So therefore the news was placed on him, and here it's passive. So nubiya means he was made a prophet. He was made a prophet. Nubiya, nabba'a. I don't know how we would say nabba'a in the active form in English.
Explain it like you do, just like jalasa.
I know, but it's not the same exactly. We have jalasa, right? Jalasa, which means to sit. Jalasa with a shadda means to make someone sit, right? So I guess we could say nabba'a, if we can say that. Nabba'a would be to make someone inform, right? Or make someone a prophet. But here nubiya, meaning he was made a prophet, right? So that's the little bit of difficulty. He was made a prophet. Not that he made someone a prophet, but that he was made a prophet. Nubiya bi Iqra. He was made a prophet with Iqra. You with us, Abu Tahir?
Hear me okay?
Naam.
الأصل الثالث معرفة نبيكم محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم وهو محمد بن عبد الله بن عبد المطلب بن هاشم وهاشم من قريش وقريش من العرب والعرب من ذرية إسماعيل ابن إبراهيم الخليل عليه وعلى نبينا أفضل الصلاة والسلام وله من عمري 63 سنة منها 40 قبل النبوة و23 نبيا رسولا نبي بإقرة وأرسل بالمدثر وبلده مكة.
So then he says, rahimahullah ta'ala, بعثه الله بالنظارة عن الشرك ويدعو إلى التوحيد. والدليل قوله تعالى يا أيها المدثر قم فأنذر وربك فكبر وثيابك فطهر والرجز فاهجر ولا تمنن تستكثر ولربك فاصبر. He says بعثه الله. بعث is to send, right? It can also be the resurrection here, but بعثه الله meaning Allah sent him out. Like ba'atha, ba'ath, the resurrection is when they come out of the grave, right? So بعثه الله, Allah sent him. بعثه, sent him. بنظارة, from nun dal ra, meaning to warn, as every prophet is a bashir wa nadhir, a warner, right? Bin nadhara, meaning with warning, and a shirk. So he sent him with warning against shirk. Wa yad'u ila tawheed, and calling to tawheed. Wa dalil قوله تعالى, and the evidence is his statement, the Most High, Ya ayyuhal muddathir. Muddathir is someone covered up with clothes or a blanket or something. They're wrapped up, right? They're wrapped up in a blanket, right? Or in clothes, or however you want to look at it. To be covered up or to be wrapped up in something. Qum, stand up. Qum, fa'anzir, stand up and warn from the same nadhara, right? Fa'anzir, and warn. Wa rabbaka fakabbir, and your Lord magnify. Fakabbir, fa is like so, but it just means, if you would say fakabbir rabbaka, right? So magnify your Lord, but we put Allah first. A lot of times we put Allah first, even though the Arabic grammar might seem more to put the verb first, fakabbir, because kabbir is a command verb. It's a amr. Kabbir majzoom bil sukun, right? You magnify your Lord. But one of the ways of magnifying your Lord, of like saying Allahu Akbar, is magnifying him. One of the ways of doing it is placing his name first. Like we could say Ya Allah, or we could say Allahumma. Allahumma is Ya Allah, but it puts Allah before the meme, which is equal to the Ya here. So it's a way of magnifying Allah by placing his name first. وَرَبَّكَ فَكَبِّرْ, and your Lord magnify. وَثِيَابَكَ فَطَهِّرْ, and your clothes purify. And if we notice all of these, فَأَنذِرْ, and warn, he's telling them warn. فِعْلْ أَمْرْ مَجْزُوم. فَكَبِّرْ فِعْلْ أَمْرْ مَجْزُوم. Right? وَثِيَابَكَ, and your clothes. Thob, thiyab, that's your clothes. فَطَهِّرْ, purify your clothes. Right? It could be other than your clothes. It could be your soul. It could be all of that. Right? وَثِيَابَكَ could be for salat, or it could be your beliefs. It could be all of that. And there's tafsir for all of that. But purify your clothes for salat. Purify your soul and your belief and your everything else. Right? فَطَهِّرْ, from tahara. Right? Tahhir. Then we have وَالرُّجْزَ. Rujza is shirk or idol worship, right? Rujz. Fahjur, then stay away from it, avoid it. From hijra, the word hajara, like people make hajar of innovators. Hajar, fahjur, stay away from them, avoid them. Hijra is when we go from one place to another. We avoid Mecca and its punishment by moving to Medina. فاهجر في الأمر مجزوم. ولا تمنن تستكثر ولربك فاصبر. Let me get a good translation for that real quick. It says, okay, tamnun here comes from the word menna, which means like fa'ida and fadal and baraka, blessings, right? Blessings. And this ayah is difficult to translate, but it says wala tamnun tastakthir. So this blessings, right? It could have, this ayah can have two meanings. Tastakthir is from kathara. Tastakthir could be seeking more. Alright, that's what it is. Seeking more. Wala tamnun tastakthir. Okay, so here, tamnun meaning don't give blessings, don't do favors. Tastakthir, in order to acquire more. Tastakthir, seek more. Don't like do something hoping for something in return. La tamnun tastakthir. That's one translation. The other one could be and don't think that we should just leave it at that for the simplicity of it. La tamnun tastakthir. Do not give in order to get more. Another translation, we can worry about that when we read the explanations of these books. The other one is, and do not consider your doing of deeds as a favor to Allah, right? But it's easier just to say for now in a simpler explanation, and we read the explanation of Sheikh Abdul Muslim al-Qasim, we read the explanation of Fawzan, or of his uncle, or his grandfather, Abdul Rahman al-Qasim, inshallah, it'll be easier. Tamnun tastakthir, and you can go to the Quran, Surah Al-Mudaththir, ayat number 6, and figure it out. وَلِرَبِّكَ فَاصْبِرْ, and for your Lord, be patient. Right? And for your Lord, be patient. فَاصْبِرْ. So, بعثه الله بالنظارة عن الشرك ويدعو إلى التوحيد. So Allah sent him with warning against shirk and calling to tawheed, and the dalil is the statement of Allah, Ya ayyuhal mudaththir, O you wrapped up or enveloped in clothes, Qum fa'andir, rise and warn, وَرَبَّكَ فَكَبِّرْ, and magnify and glorify your Lord, وَثِيَابَكَ فَطَهِّرْ, and purify your clothes, وَرُجْزَ فَهْجُرْ, and idols and shirk, avoid it, وَلَا تَمْنُنْ تَسْتَكْثِرْ, and do not give in order to get more, وَلِرَبِّكَ فَاصْبِرْ, and for your Lord be patient. Any questions? وَمَعْنَى فَأَنذِرْ يُنذِرُ عَنِ الشِّرْكِ وَيَدْعُو إِلَى التَّوْحِيدِ. And the meaning, ma'na, meaning, قُمْ فَأَنذِرْ, rise and warn, يُنذِرُ عَنِ الشِّرْكِ, he warns against shirk, وَيَدْعُو إِلَى التَّوْحِيدِ, and he calls the tawheed, وَرَبَّكَ فَكَبِّرْ, and your Lord magnify. A, meaning, a is another word like meaning, but a, it means, right? A is means, right? Azimhu bit-tawheed, magnify him with tawheed. Azimhu, from azim, make him great and tremendous. Talk about or declare his greatness and his tremendousness بالتوحيد with توحيد وثيابك فطهر and your clothes purify أي meaning طهر أعمالك عن الشرك. Here he gives the tafsir طهر فعل أمر مجزوم على سكون says مبني على سكون. So it says purify أعمالك, your actions عن الشرك. Purify your actions from shirk. That's what he says. وَثِيَابَكَ, where your clothes, the best of provisions is taqwa. So taqwa is from your actions. Then it means purify your actions from shirk. That's how it's translated. As for in the Noble Quran, it says, and purify your garments, right? Your clothes. And there's different tafasir. وَالرُّجْزَ فَهْجُرْ. Ar-rujz is asnam. Asnam is the plural of sanam, which means an idol. An idol. Asnam, idols. Fahjurha wahajruha, and avoiding them or staying away from them, making hijrah from them, boycotting them. Tarkuha is leaving them. Wal bara'atu minha wa ahliha, and bara'ah is from bara'a, meaning to free yourself. As we said, al-wala wal-bara', and we had this earlier. Wal-bara'atu minha, and to be free from it, meaning or them, meaning the asnam, wa ahliha, and its people, right? And their people, meaning the idols' people. Any questions about that?
No.
As for his mean, he does not explain وَلَا تَمْنُنْ تَسْتَكْبِرْ وَلِرَبِّكَ فَاصْبِرْ. He doesn't explain those, but he talks about these first three because they're the most important ones regarding the shirk in the ayat. Right? Then read for us from the top, Abdullah. Inshallah ta'ala, I'm going to add a minute or two here in case we need it.
فَأَثَّهُ اللَّهُ بِالنَّثَارَةِ and the shirk. ويدعو إلى التوحيد والدليل قوله تعالى يا أيها المدثر قم فأنذر وربك فكبر وثيابك فطهر. Let's start here name this one. وَرُجْزَ فَهْجُرْ وَلَا تَمْنُنْ تَسْتَكْثِرُ وَلِرَبِّكَ فَاصْبِرْ وَمَعْنَى قُمْ فَأَنذِرْ يُنذِرُ and الشرك ويدعو إلى التوحيد ربك وربك فكبر أي أثمه بالتوحيد
عظمه
أمثمه
عظمه. It's a kasra on the.
Oh, okay. أثمه بالتوحيد.
نعم.
وثيابك فطهر أي طهر أعمالك عن الشرك والرجز فاهجر. الرجز الأصنام وهجرها تركها والبراءة منها وأهلها.
Where is that, Tahir?
بعثه الله بالنظرة عن الشر بالنظارة عن الشرك ويدعو إلى التوحيد ودليل قوله تعالى يا أيها المدثر قم فأنذر وربك فكبر وثيابك فطهر ورجز فاهجر ولا تمنن تستكثر ولربك فاصبر وما قم فأنذر ينذر عن الشرك ويدعو إلى التوحيد وربك فكبر أي عظمه بالتوحيد وثيابك فطهر طهر أمالك عن الشرك ورجز تهجر الرجز الأصنام وهجرها تركها وبراءة منها وأهلها.
طيب. Alhamdulillah, we'll finish here, and tomorrow we'll start with the rest of this. We only got about, I don't know, 8 pages, something like that left. Should be 3-4 days at the most to finish this book, and then we'll start on 40 hadith before Ali ibn Abi Talib comes, the Dawrah. Did you see the Adlan Abu Tahir?
MashaAllah.
Okay, one thing I forgot to say. This is the last link in this class, so I'm gonna have to make another link today and then send it to you. So, Sister Amin, I don't know how to necessarily get it to you, as well as the Zahra and all them who come. If someone knows how, but I can send it to Mariam because I have her email and WhatsApp or whatever. Everyone else, I don't know how I'm gonna get it to them. You guys know. Then let me know if you have any suggestion how to get it to your sister Amin, because that link will no longer work after the day it's expired, and they say I can't add to it. Oh, okay, she has it written there. If I give me 1 second. Mariam, do you know the other sisters so you can get it to them?
She said no.
Okay. Okay, I got that one. So if you can get them that, I'm going to make that link. And inshallah today I'm going to announce the other class for Saturdays and Sundays, inshallah. And as well, like I said, from March 8th through the 31st, I didn't put the number, March 8th through the 31st, we won't have class because I'll be making Umrah. Now, yeah, just let's not have it. I was going to say if I figure out a way to do it, but that's not probably going to happen. So, inshallah, just remember that. So we have until March 8th or March 7th to have class, and I'm going to send you a new link for this class and a notice about the other class. If you want to send it to anybody, go ahead. Any other questions? Oh yeah. Inshallah, I'll see you brothers and sisters tomorrow. Subhanaka Allahumma wa bihamdika ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilaik. Wa iyyakum. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi.